"I see them, but I can't go in." Those were the chilling words of the caretaker when he discovered legendary actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, lifeless in separate rooms inside their secluded home. The details of their deaths, shocking. The questions, endless. Was it a tragic accident or something much darker? Welcome back to Never-Ending Celebrities. A call from the caretaker at 1:45 p.m. on Wednesday made the police rush to the scene. The actor and his wife had been dead for quite a while before their bodies were found in separate rooms of their New Mexico home, authorities said. The medical examiners found no signs of external trauma, but the bodies were partially mummified, with pills scattered across the bathroom floor. A Santa Fe detective who sought a search warrant wrote in his affidavit, "The death of the two deceased individuals appears suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation," as the reporting party found the front door of the entrance unsecured and open. But who was Gene Hackman, and why did this tragedy gain such prominent media attention? The couple was so secretive that their neighbors remained tight-lipped when questioned for details. Let's find out. Hackman was a 5-time Oscar nominee who won Best Actor for The French Connection in 1972 and Best Supporting Actor for Unforgiven 2 decades later. A prolific and celebrated actor, Hackman was routinely featured on Hollywood lists of the greatest American actors of the 20th century. He could play virtually any role, from a comic book villain like Lex Luthor in Superman to complex characters in dramas. Recently celebrating his 95th birthday, Hackman had an illustrious career that earned him 2 Academy Awards, 2 BAFTAs, 4 Golden Globes, and a Screen Actors Guild Award, solidifying his status as one of the greatest actors in history. In 1991, Hackman married classical pianist Betsy Arakawa after dating for 7 years. 2 bodies, a locked house, a shattered mystery. Did someone get to them first? Or was it something they never saw coming? Should we question who did it or what's hidden? To answer this, let's take a deeper look into the findings. Here's what we know so far. On Wednesday afternoon, deputies were called to the couple's home on Old Sunset Trail in Hyde Park, New Mexico. 2 maintenance workers had found the front door slightly open and the couple dead inside. But here's the kicker. There were no signs of forced entry, no struggle, and nothing out of place. It's almost as if they just stopped living. But how? And why? Authorities remain tight-lipped, but sources close to the investigation say there were no obvious signs of foul play. No weapons, no wounds. Just 2 lives snuffed out in the blink of an eye. Then there's this. A bottle of prescription pills was found scattered on the bathroom counter near Betsy Arakawa's body. A space heater was also nearby, leading investigators to speculate that it may have fallen if she collapsed suddenly. But what were these pills? Were they a factor in her death? And what about Gene Hackman, who was found in a mudroom near the kitchen, also showing signs of a sudden fall? Toxicology reports could take up to 3 months, but until then, the question remains. Were these pills a tragic accident or something more? 3 dogs were found in the home. One, a German Shepherd, was discovered in a closet just 10 feet from Betsy's body. Another dog was found alive in the bathroom, and a third was outside the home. One of the dogs was found dead. Here's where it gets even stranger. Investigators are piecing together a timeline of when Gene and Betsy were last seen or spoken to. The caretaker who called 911 said he couldn't enter the house, but saw them through a window. How long had they been dead before they were found? And what were their final moments like? These are questions investigators are desperately trying to answer. Gene Hackman was a private man. He stepped away from the spotlight years ago, choosing a quiet life with Betsy. So, was it a quiet end to a long life? Hackman is survived by his 3 children from his previous marriage to Faye Maltese: Christopher, 65, Elizabeth, 63, and Leslie, 58. Leslie, who hadn't been in contact with her father for a few months before his death, shared, "We were close. I hadn't talked to them for a couple of months, but everything was normal and everything was good." Elizabeth Jean had initially speculated that toxic fumes might have caused the deaths, but this theory was ruled out after a post-mortem. For now, the gates around their home remain closed, much like the private lives they led. As the investigation into the mysterious deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa enters its second phase, more details are emerging about their health and habits in the final month of their lives. In another turn of events, the two did not die from carbon monoxide poisoning, Santa Fe sheriff concluded on Friday, ending speculation that a gas leak killed the couple. Hackman's pacemaker had sent its last record on February 17th, suggesting he had been dead for at least 1 week before his body was discovered. Over the weekend, Santa Fe County Sheriff Aiden Mendoza repeated that he does not believe there was foul play in the deaths of the couple, who had spent more than 30 years together in the house on Old Sunset Trail Road. As Hollywood continues to mourn the death of acting legend Gene Hackman, one of his highest-rated films, No Way Out, finds a new streaming home on Amazon Prime Video. The film, co-starring Kevin Costner, earned critical acclaim and solidified Hackman's reputation as one of Hollywood's finest. Meanwhile, an investigation by a local gas company found a minuscule leak at one of the stove burners, but it is not believed to have been a contributing factor in the deaths. Hackman's daughter, Elizabeth Jean, had suggested that they could have been killed by toxic fumes, but the Santa Fe Sheriff's Department confirmed no significant findings. The other 4 red tags were for code enforcement violations, not involving gas leaks or carbon monoxide, related to a water heater and gas log lighters installed in 3 fireplaces. An initial interrogation of Hackman's pacemaker revealed that his last event was recorded on February 17th, and so, Sheriff Aiden Mendoza said at a press conference, "According to the pathologist, I think that is a very good assumption that that was his last day of life." Mendoza added that it was difficult to determine whether the two died around the same time. There is no indication that anybody was moving about the house or doing anything different, so it's very hard to determine if they both passed at the same time or how close they passed together, he said. But will that solve the mystery? Or will it raise even more questions? Even a full autopsy cannot pinpoint the time of death, said Dr. Priya Banerjee, clinical assistant professor of forensic pathology at Brown University. "It's not like TV where we have it to the day or the minute," Banerjee said. Instead, medical examiners rely on electronic evidence collected by police, such as phone records, to narrow the timeline. Oftentimes, if it's more than a few days, there may be mail outside that's uncollected, said Banerjee. Even something like a doorbell camera or a neighbor's Ring camera might have picked them up outside. The couple's longtime friends, Daniel and Barbara Lenahan, said the pair was in a healthy state when they last met. Barbara Lenahan had last seen Arakawa 3 weeks ago at the home decor shop in Santa Fe that the two had opened together. "Last time we saw them, they were alive and well," Daniel Lenahan told CNN's Erin Burnett. Because of their health concerns following the COVID-19 pandemic, the Lenahans had seen less of the couple in recent years. Arakawa took measures like masking to ensure her husband wouldn't get sick. Until a year ago, he was still riding his bicycle, and Betsy had him doing yoga and different things at home on Zoom to stay fit, Barbara Lenahan said. "They were so delightful to be around," she added. "Probably never seen a couple that got along and enjoyed each other so much." It's been almost a week since the shocking discovery of the deaths of Hollywood legend Gene Hackman and his wife. Let's take a look at some shocking revelations by the neighbors. As the investigation continues, neighbors of the couple have begun to share their memories. James Everett, who lived part-time next door to the couple for about 5 years, spoke to the New York Times, revealing just how private Hackman and Arakawa were. "They have a gate, and we have a gate, and we just have never even seen each other," Everett said. Another neighbor, Bud Hamilton, who lived nearby for 20 years, shared that he only had dinner with the couple once during that entire time. Beau Thoreau, a homeowner who visits the neighborhood occasionally, recalled seeing Hackman and Arakawa walking down the road years ago, but admitted, "I know there's some nice people up there, I just don't know them." The mysterious deaths of Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, have left the world with more questions than answers. As investigators continue to piece together the timeline and uncover the truth, we are reminded of the enigmatic lives they led. What really happened inside Gene Hackman's home? Accidental tragedy or something far more sinister? Drop your theory in the comments. And if you love unraveling Hollywood's biggest mysteries, hit that subscribe button because we've got plenty more coming your way.